I live in upstate New York. My area would be considered borderline rural, and I need my vehicle to get me anywhere. I've learned plenty of things from engine swaps to replacing wheel hubs on this vehicle. Really anything to keep it going. Recently, the rear axle blew a pinion seal without me knowing, and after driving it without differential fluid, it broke, and now I need to replace it. I've decided to use this as my RSA project as it's something I've never done before, and I can apply methods for rapid skill acquisition to assist me in completing this project. Before starting, I sat in the garage studying the axle, using systems thinking to break down the axle as a whole and find out what needed to be done in order to swap this axle. Coming up with theoretical problems that I might encounter while doing this and solving them in my head. I used everything at my disposal to complete this project in my head before I even started working on the truck. To start, I removed the drive shaft. It's easiest to do this when the wheels are on the ground. I then lifted the vehicle off the ground and put jack stands for safety. I then removed both tires to allow me to have better access to the axle. I now need to remove the brake drum and all of the components within to gain access to the emergency brake that needs to be removed. To remove the emergency brake, I need to hold down 4 metal tabs at the same time. This proved difficult, but using creative thinking, I was able to come up with the idea to use a zip tie to hold them all down. This was successful. From there, I need to detach the brake line from the rest of the axle. Now I need to remove the shocks from the axle. This will require a lot of torque, so I'm using a 2-foot breaker bar to start the process, and then use my impact gun to finish removing the bolts. Unfortunately, this is where I have run into problems. I need to remove the U-bolts holding the leaf springs to the axle. Once these are removed, I will be done removing the axle. However, my deep sockets are not deep enough and my wrenches are not long enough to provide enough torque. I have used lateral thinking to think outside the conventional methods and came up with the idea to use a pipe over a wrench I own in order to increase the torque I can apply. I am picking up a long steel pipe tomorrow to test this idea. Although I have been working on this for 1 hour at a time for a week now, there have been enough hiccups to have prevented me from completing this project. This is still in progress though.